So I just got a lead on a rare Indian motorcycle in rural Virginia. The bike's sitting in an antique shop, and today we jumped in the truck and drove about 4 hours to lay our eyes on it for the first time. We've got over 400 bikes in the museum, 35 brands of motorcycles, and one thing that we're kind of light on is Indian motorcycles. So anytime I get an opportunity to buy a motorcycle like this, it's always worth chasing down. The thing that got me going about this bike is it's a rare model that we don't have, and the condition looked pretty good. Apparently it hasn't run since his dad was messing with it maybe 20 years ago or so. Hopefully we'll be back at the shop in no time, seeing what it'll take to get this bike fired up and going. So while we were on the road, we decided to bring the brand new X5 and the Ace Pro 2 because we don't know where we're going or exactly what we're getting into. There it is. Greenbacker and Son.
Yep, right there it is, Peddler's Market.
Oh, Peddler's Market. Man, cool. We get to go antique shopping too, man. Hey there, are you Brandon?
I am.
All right, hey there, how are you doing? Gosh, I love these old buildings. Yeah, you got such character, man. So we met up with Brandon to see some of his dad's collection. His dad actually rode motorcycles most of his life, and over the years, amassed some pretty cool machines.
I think the first thing that he really restored was the Indian, and then he got into British bikes and vehicles and all kinds of other things later.
Yeah.
But what you're seeing here is kind of the results of the British parts bikes.
Got it.
I think when we go through everything that you see down here is going to be Triumph. When we go upstairs, there's going to be some BSA stuff, and the Indian stuff is up there as well.
Okay.
So,
what's that say? Let Taylor. That's cool. Will you sell that
there's
too?
some neat stuff in here, sure.
Yeah, cool. Man, you guys do have a bunch of awesome, cool stuff. What a neat place, man. I love the building. This little building has such a cool vibe. I mean, antiques still on the wall, the old countertops. Look at all these motorcycle parts. This place is jam-packed with cool stuff. Well, let's take a look at some of the other bikes.
No, there's more stuff upstairs.
Yeah, let's go check it out.
So this is the one BSA that I sent you pictures of.
Yeah, and this was, what did we figure out that this was? It was,
This is a 61 BSA. It's a DA, or Golden Flash.
Yeah.
yeah, and that's locked up pretty good.
And I believe that was a 441. That was a BSA thumper. So there
Okay.
may be some more parts around for that.
Yeah, that one's froze up pretty good. Plug's been out for a long time.
Yeah, it's so sad because all of these had, when we moved them relatively recently, they all had loose engines. So it's just because they've been sitting here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, and this here looks like it may be a big hole in the engine case. Yeah, that scared the daylights out of me. Probably cry the whole way home.
Man, yeah, I wouldn't want to hear that. But this was his Scout, which was
that's the Junior, huh?
The Junior Scout, yep, that was his first one, and I am certain that if we charged the battery and put some fresh gas in it, it would start right up. It's always been one that only gets run every few years. He restored it back in the early 1980s, late 70s, early 80s, and he rode it all over the place and was known around here for having it because, of course, there was anything like this all around town.
No,
so,
I bet not. Yeah, spark advance on the right, shifter on the right, throttle on the left. We always joke around and say you gotta ride them like this. Indian debuted the Scout in 1920 as a lightweight, small displacement model. They made them in 500, 600, and 750cc examples. The Junior Scout was introduced in 1937 and just might be the rarest of all of the Scout models. Be a perfect addition for Wheels Through Time. First impression is that the bones are what they're supposed to be, you know, is Junior Scout front end, Junior Scout handlebars, so they go on the Princes and the Junior Scouts. There's only a couple models they use that on. The Junior Scouts have the cute little gas tanks, which some guys use on their Sport Scout racers. You know, right fenders, right brakes and hubs and floorboards. Actually, I thought in the pictures it had the wrong exhaust, but it seems like the header pipe might be right, and then it needs the muffler. This might be an aftermarket pipe, though. Transmission, the battery box, you know, battery's held in there with electrical tape right now. There's probably a strap or two missing. You know, and you've got things that have been replaced, like brake lever, and the horn's new. The rims are not the original rims. They're the original size. but that's like a later style British rim. Floorboards and brake and clutch pedals seem like the right stuff. You can see the Indian distributor here, still actuating. Mission to switch on the dash.
You know, all in all, this thing looks pretty good. The more I talk with Brandon, the more I'm realizing I'm gonna have to buy all of it in order to get this little Indian. So I really hope we can get this thing started, because if not, I'm gonna be stuck with a bunch of bikes that don't run.
I think my dad would be glad that you guys professionals were taking all his stuff.
Cool. Sure thing,
Yeah.
Brandon. I appreciate it.
Okay, man, let's start loading.
It's still hot out here. I was gonna watch Frozen, but it just played Aquaman. And hey, speaking of that, you know why celebrities don't mind the heat?
Why is that?
Because they have so many fans.
Holy moly.
Gracious, it's
this
hot.
guy's on fire. Yeah, inner primary cover. Wow, these suckers are heavy.
You know why mathematicians don't mind it when it's 90 degrees?
Why?
Because for them, it's just right.
Very tractor. Good amount of parts, a lot of British stuff, but they just look like, it looked like there was a couple extra Indian transmissions in there for scouts. So yeah, plenty of parts. And you guys know we love the parts.
And it looks like it's pretty well organized, at least. It's in boxes. That's always a plus.
A lot of British here, but sometimes you gotta buy the whole pile to get the bike you want. We're in trouble. I need some help though. You don't know how to work on these, do you? Come on, you're holding back on us, I can tell. How are you today? Yeah.
I know that I'm working on that wheel.
Ready?
Yeah, straight in where Mark is.
Yeah, where Mark's at on the left. Could you see everything in there? Because it was dark where we're
No,
at.
you can see really well.
Yeah.
Low light is good.
Yeah, no joke. I mean, in the basement there, it was completely dark, and even in the back corner with the gearboxes.
Oh yeah, you can see really well.
Wow. It's good equipment, man. It's good equipment. All right. That wasn't so bad. Oh yeah, what do you want to do on this and that sign down low?
Oh, you can have those.
Really? That's rad of you, man. Thank you.
Put them to good use under the motorcycles.
Pipes. All right, man. Well, we're loaded. We're sweating. I hope we brought t-shirts. Is that new? You just...
No, I brought it.
God, you didn't bring enough for the rest of us.
Well, we can share it.
Yeah. What do we got? Max AC. So after a hot day of pulling parts, it sure is going to be nice to get back to the restoration shop in the AC, see what we can do to get this bike fired up and running and keep Brandon's dad's legacy alive. All right, so Brandon was pretty confident that this bike should fire up and run with relative ease, but I do have my own concerns. If you check out over here, I think this is the registration sticker, last registered in 2000. Did say his dad would fire it up once every year, every couple years. That being said, I still got a lot of questions. Admittedly, I'm more of a Harley guy, so instinct may not always apply. When you're working on Brand X, you never know what's gonna happen.
Surprises await.
Surprises await. It's got a little 520 chain, that's cool. I never noticed that about a Junior Scout. First order of operations. Was that gas tank nasty? I can't remember.
The one side, I believe, had a little bit like the stuff in the bottom. The other side was just a little bit of rust. So
A little
we might
bit
be
of
better
rust.
off to use the other side.
Okay. Yeah, let me climb up there and actually find out which side was which. This side was probably the rusty side.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not terrible.
yeah, it's just
I
a
mean,
little
it's just
surface
surface rust. Yeah, let's look at the other one. The other one, if I remember right, these are good new gaskets.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of nasty. We're gonna want to drain that out. You know, there's probably a quarter of an inch of whatever's in there.
It looks like it's below the the line going out.
So
whatever they have.
with the clutch, okay, the clutch appears to work. Oh yeah. Let's pull the plugs out first thing.
Okay.
Lube the cylinders up. Secondly, let's see if we can pull that air breather off and see what sort of carburetor issues we're gonna have with this. This J12YC's same spark plugs as a pan head. Ooh, beautiful. Plugs are burning really nice, bro. We're gonna run with those plugs. I like that a lot. Just getting started, I have high hopes for the bike. It's not a perfect Indian Junior Scout, but overall, it looks like a pretty nice bike. Now, I had to buy every bike in the whole shop and the basement in order to get this motorcycle, so the stakes are actually pretty high. If the bike runs well, I'll be a happy guy, happy camper, and if the bike has its issues, engine needs rebuilt, you know, transmission, you guys have seen our transmission woes as of late, that will be another story, so hang with us.
So everything's a little gummy, but everything, like the adjustments all move. You can turn them, but they're just sticky.
The adjustment on the carburetor?
Yeah, so
that
like
carb is coming off,
yeah,
for sure. Anytime you get a bike that's been sitting this long, that carb is absolutely coming off. I can't tell what's going on here. Beautiful shifter though, I'd have left it patinaed like that. Here I am with the ADD getting into cosmetics before we jump into mechanical.
To be fair, it's all got to get done.
It's a good point, Steve. That's a good point. We're gonna start calling him Silver Linings Steve.
Silver lining, Steve.
As quick as I think this process is gonna go, this is getting bead blasted and painted black.
Carburetor.
All right, we'll paint this sucker black real quick and we can keep working. Nice, carb came off. Pop that bowl nut off in the vise over there.
Yep.
And we'll see what the inside looks like. Wow, this guy's all gaskets dried out. That thing wouldn't have run.
There's gonna grab the bullet dead over there.
All right. Cork. It's a nice float though, actually. I'm not gonna use it, but it's nice. And all this is really clean inside too. Maybe had some sort of sealer here on the bowl nut. Kind of appears, it's pretty plugged up. So we're gonna see. The main nozzle comes out. Here we go. So apart she comes. Okay, piece by piece she comes apart. Ooh. That's great. We can use the same nozzle because we didn't tap it. We can probably install that battery and hook it up and see what's working.
Yep.
We got extra wires?
Yeah,
or?
yeah, there's plenty of wire.
That's the
ground. He didn't
yeah.
even have a tray, just had it wrapped around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me get that heat gun too and we can peel that.
It peels off. I peeled just a corner up here.
Okay,
it comes
if you can
off
peel it
without
off,
any...
we'll use acetone and razor blade to. So I didn't want to. I want to keep the paint.
I mean, it's coming off.
Okay,
Yeah.
if you got it, get it.
Yeah.
Love it. I love these little tanks, man. The Junior Scout tanks are the cutest little things. Yeah, it's a little battery. And that's another thing, guys. We're aiming to get this bike running today. Literally just rolled it out of the truck. Give us a little bit of time, and we'll have the proper battery ordered. We'll bolt that in the same time that we go ahead and correct some of the other parts. Yeah, I like that. So you get able to get anything?
I haven't tried yet.
Headlight? No headlight yet. Nothing? Taillight? Well, then let's check the distributor for spark here.
Right. So that's pulled out. I'm assuming that's on.
Yep. Oh, there is a fuse under there too, but the fuse looks good. Okay, so we got a problem. You sure we went proper to proper?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Ground. Positive.
We have 0. Nothing.
Move
Yep.
that. Anything
Nothing now.
There? Nothing there.
No. Okay, so we're gonna start. Oh, tail
okay.
light. Headlight?
Nothing yet.
We do have a tail
You
light.
have a tail light.
But we ought to have ignition.
Okay.
So
Maybe it's just in that switch.
it could be in the switch. That ought to be to the brake light. So hold on, let's try, hit the brake. Brake light is nice and bright too. Okay, so now we're running forward to, let's see what we got at the coil. Nothing at the coil. Okay, so we don't have power to the coil yet. Do we have power to the amp meter? 6.1 volts. In and out. Okay, that's our hot. So that's the switch. Okay, so first step's ignition. That's a black wire coming from the coil. We got to get power to the coil before we do anything. So this is ignition here. And for some reason, we're not getting anything at that post, which is what I can't quite understand. Is it grounding? We're still hot here. It was definitely not running. Is there another position on the switch?
Yeah, it's just corrosion in there somewhere.
Yeah, it is. That's all it is. So we're chasing electrical issues, and this is there we go. Some sort of switch.
Got tail light back.
Yeah. 6.1. And now we should have, okay, we ought to have ignition. Should have ignition. If not, we got to go to the coil. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Yeah. It's not a big blue spark, but that's a pretty fat spark. We may need to bolt on another condenser. But, and then let's check the points gap while we're at it. Okay, so we have, well, I sure would like to get a headlight. So let's see what it's going to take for horn. Nothing on the horn. Okay, we got horn power. So that means power to the horn. That means our ground to the horn. We should just need to ground this out. Headlight's also grounding. So let me jump power then from that horn power here to the headlight and see if our headlight bulb's working. No headlight bulb. The headlight's grounded too. Headlight bulb is out. So let's pull that headlight off, because if we get the bulb working, then it's just the in-between.
So if it's just the bulb, you just want to take the cover off? You want to take the whole thing off?
I kind of want to.
Okay, redo those.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Okay.
All right. Everything, throttle, spark advance seems to work fine. We're gonna run, that's a really nice new distributor rotor. We're gonna, underside of the cap looks good. No major wear on any of them contacts. Oh, we didn't check the points gap. That's what I was checking. Tight. Points gap's a little small. 18. Open it up a little bit. And then Chris, here's a screwdriver to undo the headlight. Okay. So what do we got left? We have not made it real far. We're on the way to ignition. Got the pipe painted. We have ignition. Batteries installed. We have ignition. Exhaust pipes painted. Spark plugs look really nice. We've coiled the cylinders. Haven't spun it over a whole lot yet. Fuel tank to clean out. We're gonna try and get both the headlight and the horn working. Got to swap out that front tire. Like I said, man, I think I have that exact front tire. That's like a Goodyear all traction, maybe. Oh, that one's particularly a Nankang, but that's a copy of a Goodyear all traction, which I do believe I have. There we go. There's 22,000. All right. Brake light works. Tail light works. We're gonna go ahead and continue to try and get power. And if I remember right, we had power at the relay. Power at the relay. Okay, so when that generator starts cranking, hopefully our relay works. While Chris is back at it, we're going to hit this carburetor. See if we can get her back together. Love it. That is a nice float bowl. All right, so we got our Venturi main nozzle, clean as a whistle. A lot easier to build these than the later style, just because they're shorter, they're skinnier. Oh yeah, that's nice. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Chris, if you'd also grab a razor blade and scrape that gasket surface.
Yep.
There's our air filter screws if we need them right here. Back to the headlight. Cool little LED bulb for 6 volt. Don't use them often, so this should be fun. Often. Oh yeah. Wow, it's bright. I love that. I love that. Okay, so we know the headlight is working all the way to ground. Yes. Still got our ground. Then we have got to do exhaust also. Okay, you can tighten that sucker up.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, man. I'm not sure we're gonna ground. Try tightening it up. Hold on. Okay, yeah, we got ground. So we got that. I gotta get this tire, but in the meantime, Chris, let's kick that thing over. Let me test compression.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh wow, good compression. Oh yeah, I love it. Got compression. Yeah, whoa, there's no plug gap. Amazing.
Okay, all that down at the bottom is just congealed gas.
You gonna be able to get it out?
Probably with not, well, I don't know. I may have, if we're gonna do that side, we'll have to probably take the tank off.
Take the tank off.
'Cause it's
Well,
like-
let's
that's-
get it.
That's everything at the, it's,
Oh my God, yeah. You're gonna have to put some gravel in there. I hate getting so close and then going backwards. Sometimes what you gotta do, mate. Okay, plugs are gapped and going back in. All right, so we're pulling the tank off. The gas down in, yep, go ahead. Gas down in the bottom of the left tank is pretty nasty. We're gonna go ahead and pull the tank. Chris is gonna do the treatment while I get this carb bolted back on. And I don't know what else is left, Chris, after bolting that carb on.
we got compression, we got spark,
Change that tire.
change
So
the tire, and
yeah, we'll be
should be
set.
gas and go, right?
Ready? Here we go. We want to be careful with that rubber strip. Be Gen 2. There we go. Okay. Here you are, sir. Yep. Your favorite job. Beautiful gas tanks. You know, you got your mounts. One piece here, over here. Reinforced ribbed back. Soldered construction all the way around. Very, very cool stuff. Cute little things. All right. Carburetor.
So the nice thing about this time is that it's not the entire tank that's covered with the old gas. It's just the very bottom of the tank. The rest of the tank is surprisingly clean. It looks really, really good. So same process. Got some acetone down in there. I'm gonna let that set for a second. Kind of soak into some of that dried up gas at the bottom. And then use a little bit of rocks to shake it around and get this stuff cleaned out.
They're at. Okay. I love it. So, carb is mounted.
So when's the last time you rode?
Rode an Indian?
Yeah.
Last time I rode an Indian, man, I had that 51P for a while and I loved it. It was a really great bike.
What about a Junior Scout?
Never ridden a Junior Scout. 500cc flathead. and it doesn't seem like it'd do much, but I will tell you, Indians, they're lightweight, they're spindly, they're zippy, and that 3-speed transmission lets you go real well. Anytime you're working on something fresh and new, it's easy to get frustrated. You know, it's out of the norm, and you know, falling back into familiarity is always nice when you're working on stuff you work on often. Everything comes a little bit easier. Anytime you're working on something different, I guess frustration can, oh yeah, that's much better. Frustration happens, you know, you're out of your familiarity zone, and the good part is it's just old motorcycles. They're pretty forgiving, and like we always say, it sure ain't rocket science.
It's definitely 10 times better than it was.
Cool. That's great. I think we'll bypass the fuel filter, Chris, since you just cleaned the tank out. Yep. Okay, lots of little stuff. Just to get it back to where we're hoping to ride it in the next 30 or 45 minutes. For the next few minutes, we should say. All right, I think I'm ready to go back. It's gonna be tough to squeeze this little guy into, or is it? I think it'll be tough. It's gonna be easy. Yeah, I take it. I'll take it. Yep. Okay. What do we got? How about that 9/16? Chris, thank you, sir. If you wanted Chris to set that fuel line up with some of these hose clamps, etc., take the get your rubber fuel line, fix it to this, hose clamp it, turn this on, take the gas cap off, and just to make sure this passage is clear. Yeah, and we feel good there. Everything's nice. Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna get on the muffler, then we're pulling that wheel off. The muffler. There's actually a muffler all the way up front that I think's the same size. I'm gonna see if we got anything here that might fit. Actually, I do. I think I got something really cool. Nice little pipe. I sure don't know that it's stock, but yeah, I like it a lot. I bet it'd sound wicked with this little shorty pipe on there.
Yeah. Fuel line.
Okay.
Is done.
Fuel line's done. Okay, on to the tire, my favorite part. Let's get a ratchet strap, tie that rear end down. We'll go ahead and use this straight in the center. I bet. We're gonna have to take that out. Chris, if you, while I'm doing the tire, if you'd wire wheel it, grease it.
Yep.
It's not terrible. Go ahead. Yep, nice job. Okay. All right, very last thing I believe is to change this tire. I think I've got one right inside. I may even have one right upstairs. All right, we're looking for a 350, Steve. That looks like about a 350, but we'd have to peel that off. That's a 418. These are all a little too nice of tires to go running. What about this guy? That's a pair of 18-inch diamond treads. That would be okay. 418s. I think we could use these. We'd have to do the rear too. Oh, let's check. Wait, here we go. Up 325/19. That's hard as a rock. This one, Dingo. Okay. Let's get at it. The air coming out of the tire.
So what year rim is that? It's like a
60s, I think. 60s, 70s British. Here you go, Chris. Pull those two. Yep. Good deal. Rim looks real good. We're just gonna run right with that. Hand me that tire if you would. Okay, on she goes. Balance mark? Of course not. Real-time tire change. Okay, look pretty. All right. Fast. Who's ready to ride? Me. Let's check the transmission oil. Yep. Last time. Now with that transmission, if I'm not mistaken, there's a fill plug and a drain plug. Yep. Yep. You know what, man? We could just, let's make a little straight pipe for it. See if this is the right size.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah?
Perfect. We could just do it like this.
There you go.
Dude, that's kind of what I was thinking. I might just run this long straight pipe. That's the problem. So we're gonna have to, here, give me a marker or something. Then we'll have to find a clamp. Okay.
I can go ahead and lower this down and get the...
Yes. Get the strap off of it.
Yeah.
Blast all the galvanizing off of this.
So we've been using the X5 and the Ace Pro 2 for a while now, and we love it because no matter where you're at, you're getting crystal clear footage. One of the standout features of the X5 and the Ace Pro 2 is the low light conditions. So when you're transitioning from daylight into a dark space, like earlier in the video when we were in that basement, you'll see that we never lost the clarity of the footage. It always gets the shots you need. And the best part is, right now, Insta360 is offering the first 50 people who sign up in our link down below a free motorcycle kit worth $49.99. And Insta360 has their Prime Day sale going on right now, so that means there's special discounts for you. You can check those out in the description below.
Not having the original exhaust pipe, we'll end up putting one on order here really soon. But in the meantime, we've welded up this little straight pipe. It's cute. Oh yeah. Oh yes. All right. We're ready, man. I think we're ready to bring this sucker down.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We still got battery. I didn't leave the switch on, did I? Okay. I am ready. It's like the little engine that could.
I know. You bring it back down and you're like, oh, that's a cute little thing.
Guy. All right, guys. We're at the gas and go part. It's my favorite part of the whole process. So, gosh, 1 day's time. Over to Halifax, Virginia, pick up an Indian Scout, Junior Scout, the prize of the whole deal. It was Brandon's dad's, prized possession, his favorite bike out of all of them. And We ended up having to buy the whole lot of motorcycles to get this machine back at the museum for a couple hours. Chris and I jumped right back in, and I like that. We'll go half a tank. Chris and I jumped right in. It seems to have gone pretty quick so far. Now's the moment of truth. You know what we do? We did, adjusted the points, changed the front tire, went through the wiring, got everything working up front, carb rebuild, oiled the transmission, made the exhaust pipe, cleaned the gas tank, set up the headlight, adjusted the front brake, haven't got into the primary at all, adjusted the throttle and carburetor, lubed up things generally, and now's the moment of truth. If you guys got any ideas on how many kicks, leave it in the comments. Chris, what are you thinking?
It had good compression. As long as we get fuel, I'm gonna say 3 kicks.
3 kicks?
Yeah.
We didn't check the timing. 2 kicks.
Okay.
2
Fuel's
kicks.
on, no leaks.
Fuel's on, no leaks. Choke's on. Let's do this. All right. Little Indian Scout, 500cc, little bit of spark retard. We've got the choke on. Funky left side kicker. No gas yet. No gas yet. We got any gas? There we go. Open her up.
There we go.
Got a little fuel? Yeah. Oh, I see you. Okay. You ought to be one to go right here. Ready? One kick. There we go. Oh, there it is.
I think it's ready to ride.
Let's do this.
So little!
Man, you're sitting in it.
Yeah, with that seat. Hey! The Junior Scout lives again. Hey, horn! Hey!
That sucker is fast.
It was so funny when you took off your thing and you could like see it's just like bouncing. It's just like
I was gonna let my daughter ride it. I changed my mind. Indian Junior Scout in the house. Make sure you check out one of these 2 videos, guys. This one was a ton of fun. Make sure you get an Insta360 Ace Pro 2 or an X5. Incredible low light. Links down in the comments there and in the description. Appreciate it, guys. We'll catch up with you next time.